Sigma males never give up. Sigma's strength doesn't come from how hard they punch, it comes from how hard they get punched and still make it back to their feet. Think Elon Musk, a famous Sigma example. The man confessed that at some point in his life, he had to borrow money from his friends to cover his family's basic needs like food and clothes. Because he put all his money in Tesla and SpaceX, and neither of them was making a dime back then. Now he's competing for the spot of the richest man on the planet. Steve Jobs, another Sigma, was exited from his own company which he worked on building for years. And when he came back, he made one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history. These kind of hits would be difficult for an alpha to sustain, because they care about their social image. They need to stay on top of the socio-sexual hierarchy, and they need everyone to know they are. So when something threatens this image, they might just let it go. But for Sigmas, they don't really care about their social image or about society at all. They do their own thing, and they kick ass at it, even if everyone tells them they're crazy. Their mindset is, first they will call you crazy, then they will call you a genius. And they understand that being called crazy is common when you have vision. Welcome to Viral Brain, where we explore the psychology of different personality types. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can be notified whenever we release new content. In this video, we're going to cover 9 reasons why Sigma males never give up. Number 1. Sigma males don't allow rules to stand in their way. A perfect example for this is Dr. House, who notoriously broke at least 100 rules of safe medical practice and even ended up in prison, but he never gave up or allowed this to stop him from saving lives. Sigma males question everything and think for themselves, designing a personal code they live by, which they spend a lot of time and effort developing. They absolutely hate the word tradition and never do things they find pointless just because their parents and grandparents used to do them. For example, a Sigma male wouldn't steal, not because of law or because he's afraid to go to prison, but because his personal code says that taking from other people with no right to do so is wrong. All it takes for many people to give up is for someone to tell them, "You can't do that," or "This is illegal," but not Sigmas. Number 2. Sigma males are adaptive. Life just cannot break a Sigma male, and that's a fact. It doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter how hard the going gets, and it doesn't matter how many times they fall. They will always find a way back up and adapt. Sigma males are the best natural survivors out of all the male personality archetypes. It's very common for Sigmas to make a bold career shift or move to a foreign country and thrive in their new place quickly and easily. And while an alpha might quickly think of delegating tasks if it gets too complicated or time-consuming, a Sigma would take it upon himself to adapt and learn the skills he needs to get the job done adequately and by himself. They see everything as a challenge, and they will swim oceans and climb mountains to avoid saying, "I couldn't get it done." Number 3. Sigma males do not seek external validation. Unlike alphas who like to constantly assert their dominance by reminding everyone they're at the top, Sigmas prefer to treat everyone as equals because they simply have no interest in competing with anyone or being perceived as a dominant figure of authority. They just want to get the work done, and they do. They look for ways to promote innovation and effectiveness, even if that means breaking the established hierarchies or rolling up their sleeves and doing things that many people would consider unbecoming. They don't really care about their social image if it stands in the way of getting things done. Number 4. Sigma males hate authority. You know those guys who stand up and start walking to the kitchen to do the dishes, and on their way you call for them from the other room, "Hey, you still haven't done the dishes yet? Go do them right now." And they go, "Well, now I'm not gonna do it." Yeah, these are Sigma males. They won't succumb to your authority just because you have some power to fire them or punish them. In fact, if you try to subdue a Sigma male, he will either walk away or even start a rebellion. The thing is, Sigma males are aware of the fact that if they give up once, they will lose their precious independence. If they accept someone's authority once, they will no longer be free of that constraint. This is one of the reasons why they never give up or back down. An alpha would keep going for the sake of his authority, and a sigma for the sake of his autonomy. And sigmas don't do things in a certain way just because this is how everyone does it. They think for themselves and question everything, and they often have very controversial opinions on things that seemingly everybody else agrees on. Number 5. Sigmas compete only with themselves. One of the common reasons anyone would give up is strong competition. There's no way I can make more sales than this guy, or this market is too competitive for me. While alpha males are super competitive because they always want to prove to the pack that they're better than everyone and establish themselves as the alpha in the hierarchy, sigmas don't really care. They look to their own progress, and they're not concerned with titles like top performer or employee of the month. If they do get it, they just think, cool. In fact, they often let their friends or colleagues win a game or take credit for something if it's gonna make them happy, because they just don't think it has any significance. They simply feel no pressure by getting outperformed, so they don't have a reason to give up as long as they're learning new things. Number 6. Sigma males always put their goals first. Another common reason why people give up is because of someone else. Even though Sigma males can fit well into society and can be sensitive and sympathetic, they always put their goals and happiness over everyone and everything else. Altruism is among the least likely virtues you'd find in a Sigma male, and they're not afraid to admit that. You'd find them saying something like, "I'd love to make my parents proud, but I gotta put myself first." They can even give up companionship in order to achieve their goals. An example of this is Steve Jobs' infamous story with his girlfriend and child. This doesn't come from an antisocial mentality or introvertism, but the fact that they're hyper-aware that companionship comes with responsibilities, which might slow them down. The way they think about it is, having a fulfilling relationship can make them satisfied with their life enough that they don't strive to achieve great things. But if they're alone, all their energy will be focused on themselves. A Sigma male is the guy who says no to the Saturday night party because he gotta hustle on the weekend. Sometimes people think Sigma males are a bit ruthless because they're willing to do anything to get to their destination, regardless of who might get hurt in the way. Number 7. Sigma males often know what they're doing. They spend a lot of time thinking before making an important decision. They explore every angle and scenario, and they can even seek advice. So when they decide to do something, they know it's the right thing and they want to see it through. The thing is, Sigmas don't really wing it. They value their alone time, they're calm and calculating, and they like to think about anything they say or do before doing it. They look within themselves for intuition, they listen to their gut feeling, and they never let anyone convince them that they're wrong. Number 8. Sigma males don't need anyone to succeed. In fact, they work best alone. Again, a major reason why people give up is because of someone else. Whether it's a pressuring boss or an unproductive colleague, this can influence people to feel hopeless and just give up. Sigma males have the ability to work in teams and be cooperative, but their finest work comes from alone time. This could be anything from writing, graphic designing, programming, marketing, or even just coming up with ideas in any field. They appreciate quietness and tend to listen within themselves for intuition. If you're a Sigma male, a managerial role wouldn't be as good as something in creative design. You're the guy behind the curtains who runs everything well away from the spotlight. You're the man who makes the magic happen without revealing any of your tricks. This is why you'll find that many Sigma males opt into remote work, freelancing gigs, and making money digitally. However, Sigmas can still be very good leaders if they need to be. Oftentimes, you'll find that a Sigma male started a business on his own and then hired others to help him when his business took off, essentially becoming his own version of an alpha in a hierarchy he created. Number 9. Sigma males don't mind reinventing the wheel if the wheel doesn't work. They don't do things in a certain way just because this is how everyone does it. If an inefficient system or a bureaucracy stands in the way of their goals, they will create a new system that works. Think about Elon Musk. He didn't care that the technology needed for mass-produced electric vehicles doesn't exist. He went out there and worked for years to create that technology. Sigma males think for themselves and question everything, and they often have very controversial opinions on things that seemingly everybody else agrees on. The fascinating thing is, they're very often right, because most people do things the way they were taught or the way everyone else does it. But Sigmas always put in the time and effort to study, research, and try as many times as it takes to figure something out. So their opinion is based on facts and experience, not common knowledge. And even though this can be an advantage in innovation and problem solving, it can be a drawback, because sometimes you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. If it works, it works.